Minecraft has always been one of my favorite games growing up, especially during new update season. There was just a certain magic to exploring all the features included in a new update, planning out how I was going to utilize and implement them into my world, or how I was going to experience a fresh feeling game when I booted up a new one with friends. But now I don't get that feeling with new updates, and I've seen the argument that it's because we've gotten older as a fan base, but I don't think that's the case. I still hop on my survival world frequently, enjoying my time with other aspects of the game. The new updates, however, just don't feel like they have a large effect on my world or how I play the game, and I think there's a few reasons why. Let's talk about it. So, why have the recent Minecraft updates felt so lacking lately? Well, I think there's 5 main reasons that these updates have been underwhelming and uninspiring to the player base. The first reason I believe recent updates haven't been received all that well is due to a lack of a central focus. Look back at some of the most popular updates the game has had: the Nether update, the Village and Pillage update, and the Aquatic update. Each of these focused on one aspect of the game and prioritized largely overhauling that singular aspect. Every feature had some form of connection to the central theme. You would notice the new additions when you logged on to a new or already existing world, as a large portion of the game, such as the entire Nether or the oceans, had been overhauled. It was impossible to miss. There weren't many, if any, features existing outside of this central focus, and I believe this is so much better for making really great updates that are fresh and exciting. It's better to largely improve upon one aspect of the game than to minorly improve a bunch of different aspects. So when people hop on, they're gonna notice that, oh my gosh, this huge aspect of the game, such as the Nether or the ocean, is completely different now. This feels like a different experience. Reason number 2 would be what I like to call filler content. This goes hand in hand with a lack of a central focus. In recent updates, Mojang has added many random features that go directly against their game design by adding single-use features. These features don't change the way you play Minecraft. Rather, they're a small addition that you might run into once or twice and be like, oh, that's pretty cool, and then you just move on. You never really use it again. For example, look at all the past mob votes. Let's be real. How many times have you actually used a goat, a lay, or glow squid? What about a camel? I'm gonna guess very little or not at all. I know there are a few people out there that really enjoy these features, and that's great for you. For the majority of players, I do believe that these features really aren't utilized that much. They basically all have one main reason to search them out, and once you've completed what they're useful for, there's really no need to use them again. And sure, you can like these features, that's not the problem. The problem is that the features don't change how you play the game. Adding a squid that allows you to make your items frames glow may be cool, but it's not something that innovates the game and switches up how you approach playing Minecraft. Therefore, these features end up feeling like filler because they don't switch up the gameplay. And when you add so many of these one-use mobs, the game kind of feels bloated as there's so many mobs with so little to do with them. Now, reason number 3 updates have been lacking lately is because Mojang heard you aren't subscribed to the channel and you haven't liked this video. Please like and subscribe. Okay, but for real, reason number 3 is the features themselves are just underwhelming. And okay, I know I might just sound like a hater for this section, but it can't just be me. I was so excited when Ancient Cities and the Warden were first announced. There was a sense of mystery and eeriness with the biome and the structure. I couldn't wait to get in my world and go loot them. But when they came to the game, the loot there was the same as anywhere else. And as someone who's been playing on the same world for years, I do not need more tools and more armor. The few unique things they added as loot for this dungeon was a music disc and shards to craft a compass that is completely useless to hardcore players. Once you craft this compass, there's literally no reason to return to the ancient city. The other loot to be found there was an enchantment called Swift Sneak. But to me, there's no sense of Swift Sneak spawning in ancient cities, as Swift Sneak is an enchantment designed for exploring the ancient cities themselves. So wouldn't I want to have that enchantment before going there rather than after? This is a really difficult structure with a high chance of dying, so the loot you find there should be worthwhile. If you're going there, there's a good chance you already have diamond gear. I don't understand why they don't add some form of unique tools or weapons or something similar to the End City's Elytra. Then we have other features like the camel and the sniffer, which are cool I guess, but like I said before, they don't change how I play Minecraft. The sniffers literally get you one plant and then they're done. There's nothing else to do with them. The biomes I actually like. I just don't feel like they're enough when in addition to all the other features to feel like a complete update. Although the one thing I will give to Mojang from the most recent update is the armor trims. These were a really great addition, especially for structures, as it gives you another reason to go out and explore each structure individually. Armor trims were an absolutely great idea, and I know you find them in the ancient city, but like I said, if they were added to every structure, this shouldn't be the reason you go there. It should be its own separate reason for going to structures. Now, for reason number 4, and in my opinion, the largest reason these recent updates have kind of been boring, is the fact they don't change the core gameplay loop. Now, what do I mean by this? So, the core gameplay loop consists of what everyone does in a Minecraft world. They build their first house, they go mining, they visit the Nether, explore some structures, get max gear, then kill the Ender Dragon, and then you find the End City. After you get yourself an Elytra, the game's main tasks are basically done, and everything else the game's offered is completely optional. Now, of course, Minecraft's core gameplay loop is also completely optional, but this is kind of the natural course of most people's worlds. The Nether update is my favorite example of when talking about any update because it was just perfect. It added so many features that you as a player will actually see in your playthrough. The update focused on an aspect of the game that everybody experiences. Everyone goes to the Nether when playing the game. It's a natural part of the gameplay loop for beating the game. And when you reach the Nether, all the new features are apparent. You don't have to go out of your way to find them like you have to do with things like sniffer eggs and camels. The Village and Pillage update, the Aquatic update, the Caves and Cliffs update, even though it was split into multiple parts, were all great because they focused on one aspect of the game that you're bound to run into and actually utilize in your playthrough. While mangrove swamps, cherry blossoms, and ancient cities are all cool, they don't impact your playthrough unless you purposely look for them. Let me say it again. I'm not hating on these features. I really like both the mangrove swamp and the cherry blossom forest, but they just aren't enough for an update to be exciting. And I know the mangrove swamp was paired with the ancient cities, but like I said before, these are two completely separate ideas. There's no core idea for that update. Adding a new biome with new building blocks isn't a bad feature at all. I wouldn't mind it if every other update was like this, but when the past 3 updates have felt like this, and there are core gameplay mechanics that need to be updated, the biggest example being the End, it just feels like they're putting their focus on something that just doesn't deserve it. Now, last but not least is reason number 5, and this is pressure from Microsoft. If you didn't know already, Microsoft owns Minecraft, and as a large company, it's focused around making the game profitable, which can be seen through the rising focus on things like the Minecraft marketplace. Now, why is this pressure affecting updates? Well, Microsoft likely applies strict deadlines to the developers, requiring yearly updates that Microsoft can use for things like advertising, new merchandise, etc. Microsoft needs new updates in order to utilize Minecraft for the most profit. The developers can be forced into rushing features and not fitting everything they wanted to into a singular update. If we look back at older updates, and I'm talking old, like 1.8 and before, Minecraft took more than a year, sometimes multiple years, to update the game. They released updates when they felt they were complete and ready, not because they had to. This is also why we have updates dripping into the next. This is why things such as Copper have been getting updated, even though they were just introduced a few updates ago. These new updates to Copper, as seen in the most recent update, were likely part of its original plan for the ore until they ran out of time and couldn't fit it in the proper update. Now, for anyone watching this video, or if somebody at Mojang is watching this, please don't take this as me hating on your game. I really enjoy Minecraft on a day-to-day basis, and although I may have some critiques of the path these recent updates have taken, I've still gotten some form of enjoyment from each update. I just want to see the game flourish and be at its best state possible. But the 5 reasons I listed in this video I think are incredibly important to making future updates feel exciting again and pulling lost players back to the game. For anyone watching, let me know what you think Mojang should do for future updates down in the comments, or why you believe recent updates have felt so lacking. If you disagree with me, leave that in the comments too. I'm totally open to chatting. And guys, if you did enjoy this video whatsoever, a like would be greatly appreciated and would go a long way to supporting the channel. And if you want to see even more videos like this, subscribe to be notified every time I upload. I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. Take it easy.